Hello, Lorenzo here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take this Airtable database, Popular Movies GPT, and what I'm going to be doing is enriching this database and some of the fields with GPT-4 technology from OpenAI. So, as an example, in this database, I have a view of popular movies. I've got a few hundred movies here with various fields of metadata about these movies. And so what I'm going to do is add a couple things. So let's say, for instance, I have this overview of a popular movie and I want to know if it's family friendly or not. Maybe I have someone helping me promote these movies and I want them to handle everything that's family. So we're going to be using GPT to determine if it's a family movie or not based on the title and based on the overview. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to insert a field to the right and I'm going to say family friendly. And let's just add a single select here and we're going to add options yes, no, unsure. So those are going to be like our three options to determine if this is family friendly or not. And let's say I also potentially want to have a tweet about the movie. We're just going to insert right here and I'm going to say tweet. And let's say that we also want to do a blog post potentially about the movie. So we are just going to have a blog post outline that someone could take and kind of modify and enrich, right? So we're going to have GPT tell us if it's family friendly or not. We're going to have it create a tweet for us, and then we're also going to have it create a blog post outline for us to further enrich. All right, so let's get started. So to do this, we are going to use a combination of Make, which is an integration automation tool similar to Zapier, but more friendly and more powerful, in my opinion. That's the tool that we use every day. And we're also going to use OpenAI to do some of this analysis for us. So if we jump into Make here, there's a link in the description. If you don't have Make, you can get an account. The link will give you like a pro account for, I don't know, X number of days or something. But anyways, there's a free trial or a free account actually. So you can click on that link. Let's say you got to Make, you're in Make, you're going to go to scenarios here and you're just going to click to create a new scenario. And this is a new scenario. In this scenario, the very first integration here is Airtable. If you were to click out of this, it would look like this, but we're going to click it and we're just going to click on Airtable and we're going to click on search. And then we are going to type in our base here. And we're going to type in for base popular movies GPT. All right, and so we're going to look at the movies table. And in the movies table, we're specifically going to look at the view called popular movies. So that's the view that we're in here. It'll return 349 records. So let's just go ahead and run that. It's going to return a bunch of records for us. So I just like to say, let's just say get popular movies. I like to name stuff. It kind of makes it a little bit more clear for me in the future. Once we get the movies, the next idea is we want to put it through ChatGPT to get some responses. So also what I wanted to do now that I'm looking at some of my tabs here, a fourth thing I want to do is I want to include all awards that any actor or actress has won in here. So I'm just going to put awards. Well, so this isn't going to be like an award for the actual film, but awards that the actors who are in the film have won. So just to clarify that. So we're just going to put awards here for now. And you'll notice here, I have a payload of credits. So it's going to tell us who was in the movie, and that's what we're going to be using to determine awards. So we're going to enrich this data with family friendly, a tweet, blog post outline, and awards. So let's get started. So what I like to do is I like to go in OpenAI, and I like to go in their chat. And when I go in their chat, I can kind of set myself up for what I'm going to ask OpenAI. So the reason why that's important is you'll notice here in this integration, if I type in OpenAI, I can create a completion for GPT chat completion, and I'm going to use GPT4, right? Let's use this latest one. So, and that's going to give us a series of messages. So basically, we can give OpenAI some context and it'll return a response, and that's how we're going to enrich our database. So for this first one, what I did here is first I wanted to set the chat up to tell the chat component what it is. So in here you'll see I said, you are a friendly assistant that analyzes movie reviews and determines if it should be classified as a children's movie or not. If you determine, I should change that to family. If you determine with a high probability it's a children's movie, respond with yes. If it's not, respond with no. If you're unsure, unsure. And then I did a test and it returned no. So that's what I want. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go here and I'm going to make the role system. And I'm going to put this here. I'm going to set the system up and tell it what it is. So you are a friendly system family movie. Okay. So now I'm going to go here and I'm going to say the role is assistant. If you want to know these roles, let me just take you here. There's kind of like 3 roles here. Let's see, just show you where that is here. You'll see here, system is you are a helpful assistant. User is who won the World Series in 2020. And you can kind of see assistant is the returned response. So you want to do system and you want to do user. I said that wrong. You want to do user. The reason why you would do assistant is to have a host a conversation. So let's say the chat returned a response. You can tell ChatGPT what the other response was so that ChatGPT can basically hold memory for a conversation. And that's essentially what it's doing in the web. In the web version, it's holding a conversation. So when I ask another question, it knows what this is. So if I wanted to prepend this ChatGPT module here with this entire conversation, I could cut and paste, oh, this is what you are, and this is what I said, then this is what the response was, and then this is what I said, and you can kind of give it history. So anyways, I'm kind of digressing a bit, but all right. So anyways, so you are a friendly assistant who analyzes conversations and then analyzes whether something's a movie or not. Now I'm going to say the user, which is me. I'm going to go back here and kind of look at what I put here previously. And then I'm going to put basically, please return a classification for the overview below. I'm going to put that here, and then I'm going to put a space, and then I'm going to put the overview here. So I'm going to put the overview variable here, and then that's it. And now I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to rename this to family friendly, because we're trying to figure out if it's family friendly or not in this module. I'm going to come here to run a test. I'm going to limit it to 1 record. And it's going to return a response. It's going to say no, right? So that's exactly what we wanted. So in essence, if we wanted to complete this circle, what we would do is we would just simply say update a record. Base is going to be popular movies GPT. Table is going to be movies. We're going to give it the record ID that was passed in that first module. And then we are simply going to, for family friendly, we're going to put choices, message, content here. Right? So for this module, we're going to do this. Let's just run this just to test it. Okay, it's still thinking. I will say that sometimes OpenAI's GPT can be slower than other times. Sometimes it might take 10, 15, 20 seconds. Sometimes it's instant. So we're just going to wait a second. And I wonder what record that was. Let's go here. 365 days this day. So this is the record that it's actually supposed to enrich right here. We're going to stop this and we're going to run it again. Something I've seen that's sometimes helpful. Let's run this one more time. Worked right away that time. Let's go back here. Family friendly, no. So that's exactly what we wanted. So what we could do if we wanted to just make sure that we give it as much context as possible, along with the overview, we could say movie title, movie overview, and then we could say movie keywords to help give it more context, right? And then we could run it again and it still says no, it's not family friendly. Perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to unlink this and we're going to add another one. I'm just going to clone this. I just did cut and paste there. You can highlight, if you do like at least on a Mac, if you do a shift and then you click on here, you can create like a space and you can cut and paste any modules you want or any combination just by highlighting them and then just doing Command C, Command V. So, all right, so family friendly, let's say tweet. So now we're gonna say tweet. All right, so you are a friendly assistant that analyzes, and actually let's do that here just to test. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back here and we're gonna say, you are a friendly assistant that analyzes movie and creates engaging tweet length. Well, we'll just say engaging tweets along with hashtags to promote the movie based on the movie content. Okay? And we don't want to give an example of that. And then we'll say, please return a social media message based on the content below. All right, so it's creating a tweet for us and some hashtags. So we're going to go ahead and go back to Make. We're going to take this system message here. We're going to put that there. And then we're going to come back here to please return social media message. We're going to come here. Just like that. And then we're going to get our tweet. So let's test this. All right, so let's take a look at the message it created for us. Awesome. So now, and just to be clear, when you come in here, there's advanced settings. You can kind of set other settings here. Like if you want it to be more creative message or tweet or whatever, you could kind of try playing with like the temperature and other things like this. You can read the description, but just wanted to show you that that was possible. Another cool thing that isn't default and clear when you're using this interface. So now we've got family friendly, we've got tweet, and we want blog post outline. We're going to do the same exact thing. And create blog post outlines for our writers to review and revise to create engaging short articles for our popular website. Wow, look at that spelling. All right. It's weird with that user. Oh. Okay, so I will say, please return a blog post outline based on the movie information below. And we're going to say a 500 word, will be specific, right? And so we're going to rename this outline. I think you're getting the gist of where this is going. We're going to run this again. While we're running this, we're going to do awards. So awards is interesting. I started playing with this earlier, so here's what I'm going to do. All right, let me just check on our outline real quick just to make sure there's something. Okay, cool. So we're going to say you are a friendly assistant that analyzes list of actors and returns a comma delimited list of awards the actors and actresses have one. If the actors have not won any awards, if none of the actors have won awards, we return string. We're going to say we return the word none. Otherwise, we return a comma delimited list of all awards won. If we don't repeat awards, so if multiple actors have won a single award, we only add it to the comma delimited list once. You, we're going to replace this with you because we're telling it who it is. The only acceptable response is either the word none or a comma delimited list of awards. So we're going to test this. So, okay, so I'm going to, you do not repeat. So I'm going to set this up. Here. And then I'm going to feed it this list again. Please analyze. Notice how I said please. You got to be polite with GPT. Please, you don't. It was just a bad joke. So please analyze this list and return an acceptable response. Okay, there we go. That's what we wanted. So we're going to go and copy this. So I like to, like I said, I like to play with this here before I run automations and see what it looks like, because it'll return like the same core stuff. So definitely use this, just the GPT chat, or you could also use Playground when you're logging in. You could go to like there's like Playground where you can also put messages in and play with it that way. So, all right. So let's go here and clone this. All right. So system, and then I'm going to put this in here. In this example here, they don't need movie title, keywords. They don't need any of this information except for the list of actors and actresses, which is underneath credits. So now I'm going to right mouse click this and say awards. Now I'm going to update the record as the last step. So let's just run through this. Family friendly, tweet, outline. Come on, outline. Oh, it's going to be a good article, clearly. And then awards. Cool. So outline looks good. Awards. Let's make sure that this is coming back with what we want. Perfect. So now we're going to go and we're just going to update this. We're going to say overview. Oh, that's our overview. So we're going to say tweet. Blog post outline, which is going to be outline. And we're going to go to awards. All right. So now that we've mapped all four of these, we can do one run and see how it works. So this is our GPT enrichment integration. So we simply run it one time. It's going to map everything out for us, tell us if it's family friendly, give us a tweet, give us an outline that our writers can look at to write an article on our website. And maybe they want to see if there's any awards, and that can like enrich the article somehow. So we're going to go ahead and include the award information. Outline seems to take the most amount of time in this integration. Also, one thing I thought about while we're waiting is when I did the outline, I fed it the same information. I fed it the tags, I fed it the content, and I also fed it the title. So technically, I could feed it more information for a more engaging outline. So like, even though we're capturing whether awards were won or not, I could technically probably put awards and then put in the, you know, I'd have to move these around. This would have to be before this, but I could put in the fact that, hey, there's awards that have been won, and I could actually map other data to make a more engaging article. Like how much revenue, when it was released, voter average, other information like that, the year it was released. I could give ChatGPT that information and see what it does to create a more interesting article. But in essence, we just wanted to test that. So here we can see that it's completely added 4 interesting new enrichment attributes that didn't exist before. And you could just use ChatGPT. It's extremely cheap to run these queries versus like some of the APIs. So previously, a company might come to me and I'd have to go find an API or a resource that had this information. I'd have to subscribe to this API. They weren't always cheap, but now we get this information here. The one caveat I will say to the awards is ChatGPT doesn't know. It might not know. It's not up to date as far as like, I think September is, as far as this recording, I think it's September or October of 2021 or something like that. And I can actually find out if right here. Yep. So training data, September 2021. So obviously as this video ages, this will change, but just know that as of right now, GPT-4 does not have real-time data. So if someone just won an award in the spring, it's not entirely accurate because it only does it as of September 2021. Now you could get creative and feed ChatGPT sources for like new awards lists and things like of that nature. And maybe I'll cover that in like a different video, but just know for some of this information, it might be slightly outdated if you're asking about awards and things that are more ephemeral or whatnot. So anyways, this is the integration. Hope it helps some of you out as you're building your own integrations. I'd love to know in the comments the type of things you guys are creating with ChatGPT and Airtable. But hope this helps. I will be making some more content around ChatGPT, so stay tuned. Have a good one.